my troopers popping in this bitch, popping in this bitch. Me and my troopers popping in this bitch, popping in this bitch. Me and my troopers.
Whoo, Venom. Okay, so hi, my name is Mr. J3T, aka Big Sexy, aka Kentucky Cannon, aka the World Class Badass, aka Chocolate Thunder with a Caramel Swirl, aka Black Lightning with a Peanut Butter Filling, aka the Man of the Century, aka the Shaman of Sexy. Oh yeah, I like it. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about Venom Let There Be Carnage. So Venom Let There Be Carnage, or Venom 2, is a sequel to Venom 1. And it follows Carnage, right? As he tries to get back with his lover, Shriek, and while also trying to get revenge on Eddie for basically ratting him out and like putting him on death row, while Carnage meanwhile is trying to kill the Venom symbiote because apparently there can only be one. So that's the gist of this movie. That's the general gist. I hope I explained that okay. I hope I explained that clearly enough. But yeah, so what do I think about this? So I watched the first Venom movie. Wasn't really a big fan of it. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't like it either. There are some parts of the movie that I liked, but overall I just didn't really like it that much. But this movie, I think it's a lot better than the first. I think it's better in terms of like, I think it's a more engaging story than the first one, because like, even though it was cool to see like Eddie and Venom's interactions with each other, it also had a very cliche story about like this business guy and all that evil corporation business dude, right? It had a very stereotypical story, right? I think this story is more intriguing. I also like the fact that we get to see a lot more of like Eddie and in like the Venom suit. We get to see a lot more symbiote action in this one, because like the first Venom movie was just like building up like Venom and everybody, introducing us to them. But in this movie, like, we already know who they are, so we don't need no introduction. They just plop us in. So that was cool to see. I like, again, one of this movie's strong suits is Eddie's and Venom's interactions with each other. Their banter is like hilarious. There are points where in this movie and in the first movie where they fight like a old married couple. It's cool to see. It's funny to see. There is one part where they get into an argument and like they split up for a brief time, and like both of them are Venom, like even though he's happy, like he's on his own, he kind of starts to miss Eddie a little bit. And once Eddie finds out that Cletus Cassidy, Carnage, eventually escapes prison, he's like, oh shit, where is Venom? I just like that just look in Eddie's face where it's just like, oh my god, oh, we have to have a fight now. Why did we have to get into a fight now? Oh no. That was funny to see. But one of the things that like really make me like Venom in this movie is there's a part where he's at like this party event, right? He's just being himself, he's fully out in the open, full symbiote mode. People are just saying nice costume, people are taking a picture of him, he's interacting with everybody. He has like these glow sticks all over his body, and eventually he goes up on stage with a person singing, and he just goes on like this huge speech about how this planet should accept aliens and how we should all just love each other and connect. And I really like that part. Like, Venom's a cool guy. Venom's a pretty cool guy. Like, I wouldn't mind having Venom, like, with me all the time, you know? I wouldn't mind if Venom was attached to me. Seems like he's a cool guy. That scene just really made me like him. Like, that scene is just very endearing. And it really made him likable. And the crowd agrees too, because the crowd's cheering him on as he's saying this rant. So it was cool. That moment really made me like Venom a lot. And now about Carnage and Cletus Cassidy. So in this movie, they casted Woody Harrelson as Carnage. I will admit, Woody Harrelson, he wasn't my first choice to play Cletus Cassidy. When I first saw him in the first movie at the end credits, like that, I don't know, man, something about that wig that he had it just looked fake. His performance in that end scene was really good, but that wig just put me off. So I was a little skeptical at first, but I was going to give him a chance. And in the end, I'm glad I did give him a chance, because he knocked it out the park with this movie, in my opinion. He did a great job as Carnage. The wig is a lot better. The wig looks a lot better in this movie, because one of my I was wondering, like, how are they gonna like make the wig look, because Woody Harrelson is bald, so how are they gonna position the wig whenever he's like jerking his head around? There's a moment in this movie where Cletus Cassidy is about to turn into Carnage, and like his head is jerking around, his hair is flopping, and I don't know what kind of wig they used or what kind of goddamn super glue that they used, but it stayed on as he was just jerking his head around. That wig stayed on for dear life. It was holding on for dear life, trying its damnedest not to fall, and it didn't. So yeah, props to the person dealing with the wig situation, because like it not only did it look a lot better, it stayed on as his head was jerking around, and it just looks a lot better too, because in the first movie he had like this all this curliness hair, but then in this movie it looked a lot better. I just went on a rant about a wig. Damn it. Anyway, enough about the man's wig. How about the character? So this is an interesting iteration of Cletus Cassidy, because if you don't know, in the comics, Cletus Cassidy, he's like just pure evil incarnate, right? He doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't love anybody. Like, the only things that he loves are death and destruction, okay? Death and chaos. So, just pure evil in the comics. No redeeming qualities at all. But this iteration of Cletus Cassidy, I found myself... They gave him a little more depth. Yeah, they didn't just make him pure evil. Like I said before, he has a love interest, Shriek. Like, a person that he genuinely cares about and loves. Cletus's whole thing is that he wouldn't let anybody else talk to him. Like, no, he wouldn't let anybody speak to him besides Eddie. Eddie is the only person that he'll let talk to him. And Eddie doesn't know why Cletus always wants to talk to him, but we find out that Cletus, he sort of saw himself in Eddie. They both had similar pasts. They both had asshole dads. He saw both. They were cut from the same cloth, basically, is what Cletus saw. So we find out that Cletus genuinely just wanted to be friends with Eddie. He just wanted Eddie's friendship, and that kind of got me a little bit, you know. That kind of got me, even though I understand why Eddie kept his distance. Why? Because he didn't want to really associate himself with a serial killer. He didn't want to be friends. I can understand where Eddie's coming from, but yeah, I just thought it was sweet that all Cletus wanted was just Eddie's friendship and just be friends with Eddie. I just thought that was sweet. But enough about that mushy stuff. Let's talk about Carnage. So the way Cletus gets Carnage is that he bites into Eddie's hand, and that's how. And as he's wiping some of Eddie's blood off of his mouth, the blood starts moving, and as they're injecting him with a lethal dose, killing him after they're gonna kill him, before they're gonna kill him, right? He turns into Carnage and just turns into this big rampage across the prison, right? Kills all the guards, kills the warden, and even though it was cool to see Carnage just go off, just killing all these people, I kind of wish this movie was rated R, because the PG-13 rating really puts a handcuff on them, really limits what they could do. So I wish that this movie was rated R so we could not have either Eddie or Carnage biting heads off screen. We could actually see some blood. I kind of wish we could have saw that without any of the limitations, but that's just a little nitpick. It was still good though. It was still brutal. Don't get me wrong, but I gotta just wish that they went just a hard R. They just went all in and just made it this a hard R and just showed us all the gory little details. But that's just me wanting to see blood, okay? So it was a really, all the scenes where Carnage just lets loose and just kills everybody, those were awesome to see. It was also cool to see Shriek, because Shriek's power is that she can just scream very loud to the point where there's a character in here, a detective, where she screams in his face and he's deaf after that. So we get to see her powers clashes with Venom's and Carnage, because if you didn't know, a symbiote's weakness is sound and fire. So of course when you have a character, a person whose main power is screaming really, really loud to the point where she can make somebody deaf if she screams directly into your face, that's going to cause some issues. And the Carnage symbiote he does not like Shriek at all. He's the first time she screams, Carnage and Cletus is no, don't, you'll kill it. And Carnage just says to him, if she does that again, I will eat her. He basically told him, control your bitch, okay? That's what Carnage basically told Cletus in that situation. So I liked that conflict. Yeah, all in all, I really like this movie. I think it's a lot better than the first one, in my opinion. Great action, some great acting from Woody Harrelson, some great acting from all the cast, everybody did a great job on this movie, but Woody Harrelson in particular, I think he stole the show. Like, because he was, like, really good as Cletus Cassidy. Like, he was great. So, Woody Harrelson in particular, great acting. Everybody else did a great job, too, but Woody Harrelson, man. I doubted you before, but you won me over, so congratulations. But it's a great movie. I give it 2 thumbs up with a J3T stamp of approval. Oh yeah, this gets the stamp of approval from me. So go out and watch it. It's a great movie, and you won't be disappointed, basically, or maybe you will. Who knows? This is just my silly little opinion. Go watch the movie and make your own opinion. But before I head out, I need to talk about, like, the post-credit sequence. So I watched this movie with my friends yesterday. We went out, we watched it. So even though we knew it was probably going to be a post-credit sequence, we just wanted to leave because all of us were hungry, and we were going to a pizza place, and it was going to close in, like, a few hours, so we wanted to go and eat before it closed. So we missed the post-credit sequence. I just watched it today, and oh, man. So I'm not going to say what happens in the post-credit sequence, because my mom is out there, and she can probably hear me right now. So I'm not going to say what happens, but all I'm going to say is that stay for the post-credit sequence, because it's just, it'll make you go, oh shit. Yeah, it's just stay for the post-credit sequence. Just stay. You won't regret it. But anyway, with all that out the way, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. But if you really like me, consider subscribing. And turn on that bell so you always know whenever I upload, because it's free. It's free. Don't be a dum-dum. Subscribe today. Deuces.